It's already done. She just hasn't realized it yet. The petition is growing. The license is trembling. The empire is quietly cracking behind the scenes while she keeps smiling straight into every camera. And the man who may have sparked this entire explosion, he's still beside her, still kissing her forehead, still dropping bars online like absolutely nothing ever happened. By the time she finally looks up, the trap may already be sealed shut. And the person holding the key won't be some outsider. It'll be the same one who promised she could trust him. Watch this closely because the ending may already be unfolding. Pause. Rewind. Run through the timeline one more time, except now take her face out of the spotlight and places there instead. Suddenly everything shifts. The whole story starts rearranging itself instantly. The villain everyone screamed about all year? Maybe she wasn't even steering. Maybe she was sitting passenger side, eyes open, hands gripping a wheel while somebody else had already cut the brakes clean off. And I never thought I'd say this out loud. Slow clap. Real slow. Almost unsettling applause for Papoose. Because whether this was planned down to every frame, or he simply stepped in and never stepped back out, the result still looks exactly the same. Claressa Shields is watching her empire crack in real time, crystal clear, while his fingerprints somehow keep showing up on every fault line. Every single one. I missed it too. Seriously. For nearly a full year I kept thinking there was no chance. No way a veteran like him, someone known for precision, suddenly forgot how to move carefully in public. No chance. The same man who built his career on sharp words somehow walks straight into one of the loudest scandals hip-hop has seen? Something felt off. But now it fits too perfectly. So perfectly it almost feels ridiculous because we were all staring at the wrong side of the board. Every one of us. Hold up. Before we break down the math, look at the receipt almost nobody is talking about. If a man truly loves a woman, he doesn't let her drown publicly. Period. He doesn't stand nearby filming while she sinks deeper. He doesn't hand her the camera, hand her the mic, hand her the rope, then step back while the internet watches everything happen live. That isn't love. Love protects. Love shields. Love quietly says, not tonight. Love grabs the phone at 2 a.m. and says, we're not posting this. Papoose seemed to do the complete opposite every single time. And it didn't feel reckless. It felt calculated. Stay with me, because this is exactly where messy starts looking mathematical. For over a year the backlash stayed loud. Twitter stayed loud. TikTok stayed loud. Even Facebook corners that barely react kept repeating the same thing. Stop. Pause. Think. Read the room. But somehow the parade kept moving. The lives kept streaming. The cute videos kept dropping like nobody anywhere owned an iPhone with screen record. Look at us. Look how happy we seem. Look at how calm they looked while another woman's marriage was burning down right beside them. And every single week, I kept asking the exact same question on repeat. Why wasn't he stopping her? Why wasn't he pulling her aside? Why wasn't this respected? Plugged-in lyricist quietly saying, Mama, we need to step back for a while. Let's stay low. And honestly, this next part is where it starts stinging. Maybe he never wanted her to step back. Maybe he needed her right out front because every video she uploaded became another nail. Every "we're so happy" caption looked like another receipt. Every interview turned into fresh evidence the public kept stacking against her. Not him. Her. And somebody with his experience absolutely had to know that. So let's break down the breadcrumbs one by one, because once you notice the trail, you can't ignore it anymore. First breadcrumb, the house. He had keys for over a year. A full year. Yet not one box ever got moved in. No clothes. No toothbrush. Nothing. A man deeply in love usually settles in. A man planning an exit keeps everything clean and temporary. A man protecting future deniability definitely keeps his name off paperwork. Cold. Strategic. Surgical. Next breadcrumb, the bag. Allegedly, she gave him real money. Real support. And what happened after that? He allegedly turned around and bought his still legal wife a mink coat. Sit with that for a second. One woman believes she's building a future while another ends up wrapped in fur. That doesn't feel random. That doesn't feel careless. That feels like a message only one person was meant to understand. That coat felt like a statement, and somebody else may have paid for the delivery. Breadcrumb 3, the toy drive. Everybody saw it. Cameras rolling. Families there. Kids there. She lost composure in a public setting. And what did Papoose do? He stood there and kissed her like nothing unusual happened. A man protecting you handles tough conversations privately and shields you publicly. But somebody with another motive lets the moment explode, then stamps approval on it with a forehead kiss while cameras keep recording. That kiss looked like a cosign. Then came Alicia Baumgartner. She openly said in front of him she was ready to confront another woman. One sentence could have cooled everything down. Just sit down. That's it. Instead, silence. And she walked right into a moment people are still talking about. Then Breadcrumb 5, the Vlad TV interview. Claressa Shields sat there opening up publicly about her relationship like she was narrating a disaster in real time. Did he slow it down? Did he manage any of it? Did he whisper she was saying too much? No. She kept talking while clicks kept climbing. And silence. Silence can absolutely become strategy. Silence can become a weapon. And somehow we all missed it. Then came the Gucci purse moment. Publicly asking for a birthday gift on camera. Not private. Not subtle. Right there in front of everybody. And he didn't get it. Millions watched that awkward moment, and he kept moving like nothing happened. That didn't feel accidental. That felt intentional. That felt like a clear message wrapped in a designer label. Then the Katia situation. Having his daughter around while allegedly still involved? That hit differently. That wasn't giving romance. That felt like a loud statement. And somehow she still smiled because the cameras were rolling. Then the birthday cake clip. Everybody remembers that. She asked for one slice. One. He had 3 sitting there. And still didn't hand one over. Not even a bite. That alone felt uncomfortable enough. But she smiled through it because cameras were still recording and he knew it. Then 50 Cent entered the conversation. And when 50 Cent locks onto something, everybody notices. The comments came. The jokes came. The rumors came. And Papoose. Silence. No defense. No statement. Nothing. And that silence looked incredibly deliberate. That's when the pattern started feeling impossible to ignore. Then the petition. The one people keep talking about regarding her boxing license. Read through the outrage, and one name keeps circling back. Papoose. Again and again. The emotional center keeps pointing there. And some people online genuinely believe he somehow benefits if her empire takes a hit. True or not, the perception itself keeps moving. And he hasn't corrected any of it. No tweet. No interview. Nothing. While everyone focused on her, other things seemed to pile up too. Spiritually, financially, physically. Public faith. Public prayer. Public conversations about right and wrong. And still everything kept rolling forward. That kind of damage doesn't stay online. That follows someone into the quiet moments later. Financially, allegedly, she was carrying weight, bills, gifts, lifestyle. Allegedly, real allegedly. So the question gets brutal. Did she really clear her debt? Is the house even still in her name? Or did she put everything on the line and walk away empty-handed after chasing a 19 at the blackjack table, left with nothing but a story she can't even retell straight? Because there's one rule that never bends. If a man truly loves you, your bank account should feel safer with him in your life, not lighter. Safer, and physically look at the transformation. Up and down, up and down. Fat, thin, like a fuller roller coaster. Because when she was with Tony Rich, she had discipline, dropped to 140 to 150, real middleweight championship conditioning. But since this situation, she's been stuck at heavyweight. And that's not just a number. That's stress-wearing skin, emotional eating, a body holding pain it doesn't know how to release. Especially for a woman who literally fights for a living, and the relationship itself affecting her ability to even make weight. Read that twice slowly, and then it gets darker. She allegedly tried to make a baby, specifically a boy, because out of her own mouth she said he always wanted a son. And if you read between those lines carefully, that doesn't feel like love. It feels like trying to secure a position that was never on the table, competition dressed up as affection. And the cruel part is that he always wanted a boy sounds familiar, like something someone else close to him reportedly said long ago. And the pattern doesn't disappear. It just repeats like a receipt. And then her family fractures, allegedly even her own cousin coming forward with receipts in private moments, with rumors saying it's jealousy over how much she's been giving to him. Not the family, not her people, him. And suddenly you've got a champion boxer publicly humiliated, spiritually shaken, financially questioned, physically out of peak condition, family drama spilling online, petitions forming against her career while the man at the center keeps moving like nothing is wrong, posting, interviewing, releasing music nobody is streaming at the level expected, bar after bar after bar, and yet not a single track landing the way someone with that legacy should. Imagine that, sacrificing reputation, respect, even a marriage-level narrative, and still not turning controversy into numbers. And that's where the math starts feeling off. But before making him the villain, there's one uncomfortable truth. She reached out first. That part is real. He didn't chase her. She stepped into his world. So yes, she made the first move. She typed the message. She initiated contact. But a grown man with a wife, kids, legacy, decades of respect, and for the culture, image still had to make a choice. And that choice should have been simple, no. But instead it became yes, then yes again, then months of yes while everything burned. So he isn't fully innocent, but he also isn't the only villain. He becomes the architect of how it ended. And what we're seeing now is that ending playing out slowly, publicly, frame by frame. While the uncomfortable part bloggers avoid is how clean he looks in comparison, no major backlash, no cancellation wave, no real loss of endorsements, no petition with his name leading it, completely untouched while being tied to everything indirectly. And that only works because he understood something early. Silence survives when noise gets punished. So he stayed silent, stayed composed, let her carry the public weight, let her become the face of the scandal he was deeply connected to. And now all those moments are stacking together. The cake clip, the toy drive, the interviews, the old comments, the silence, the accusations, all merging into one timeline that online detectives are stitching into a single narrative. In that narrative, she becomes the villain, he becomes the bystander, but anybody actually paying attention can see he was never just standing on the side. He was the engineer, the one drawing the blueprint, just careful enough to keep his name off the margins. And now here's the part people are waiting for, the so-called fresh leak, the whispers that aren't even loud enough for social media yet, the kind that move through burner phones instead of burner accounts. That people from her inner circle are allegedly preparing to speak, not loudly, not publicly, but quietly to the right people with the right receipts. And if even one of those whispers turns into an official on-record statement, the entire story stops being gossip and turns into documentation. And once it becomes documented, the petition stops being symbolic and starts becoming strategic. And strategic means sponsors start getting nervous. Strategic means sanctioning bodies start returning calls. Strategic means her next fight purse starts shifting. Strategic means the empire she built with her own hands starts to wobble. Not because she lost inside the ring, but because she lost inside the court of public opinion, while the man tied to all of it stays at home, still posting bars, still untouched, still streaming nothing significant. And that's the part that should frustrate people. Not the affair, because affairs happen everywhere, but the cleanliness of the exit, the precision of positioning, the way he managed to be inside every important moment yet somehow get removed from every consequence, because he was there in every frame, at the toy drive, beside her at Vlad TV, present during the 50-cent conversations, on red carpets, in videos, tagged in posts, visible in every angle. And yet when consequences arrived, he got cropped out like an edit, like someone who understood exactly where the camera would never fully catch him. And that isn't luck, that's structure, that's experience, that's learning the blind spots of the industry over years. And whether intentional or not, it becomes something rare, helping collapse a situation without ever throwing a punch, helping fracture relationships without raising a voice, helping fuel a petition without signing a single page, letting someone else carry the entire weight while he stays in the background of every clip. And even now the uncomfortable part is that she may not fully see it yet, or maybe she does see it late. At night, when everything goes quiet, when the comments slow down and the lawyers start calling and the old clips keep resurfacing, because at that point the damage isn't theory anymore. It's already recorded, already circulating, already shaping perception, already affecting reputation, career, and relationships all at once. And the next chapter doesn't start clean because it starts with a footnote attached. And that footnote is already being written by the same ecosystem that filmed every moment, posted every clip, and stitched every detail into one timeline. And when the dust eventually settles and the algorithm moves on to the next story, what remains is the realization that this wasn't random chaos but a slow, controlled collapse unfolding in public view, frame by frame, while the people involved thought they were still inside a normal story. And by the time that realization lands fully, it's already too late to separate what was real from what was documented.